In other words, this person already had an amazing life in their first lifetime, and they're coming back to have, again, an amazing life, but they already did all these things. But tzaddik she'ein gomer, but on the other hand, a tzaddik that's not complete, who is that? They built inheritance in another soul, right? And they also did many good things. But chafer babirin, here are the good things. They dug these wells, the other, and they plowed the field. And again, these are all things tikkunim. These are all like fixings of souls. Ha'iskin abni yisod kemil kadmin, and this person fixed the foundation stone as it was originally, meaning the second soul continued to do the right things. V'amoba, the person worked on it. V'lo yada ishtar delay. But the thing is, it's like Rav Sheshas. There was a little thing wrong in the first time around. The person wasn't 100%. They were good. They were overall pretty good, but there was something left that needed to be fixed. And then you have this dilemma. You know, a lot of us have these existential dilemmas. Like, am I really living the life that I was put here into this world? But some of us, we live and we say, is my body going to get up? Or is my earlier body going to get up? That's the question that Reb Sheshis is asking. So misitra delay tav tzaddik ikri. So on the one hand, this person in and of themselves is called a tzaddik, because right now in their second lifetime, in this body, in this reincarnation, they're doing everything they need to do. Misitra dahu is chanta, but if the prior lifetime, the earlier body, lav hachi, wasn't complete. It was good, but not complete. So in other words, according to the Zohar, again, there are different interpretations of tzaddik gomer and tzaddik she'ein gomer, but the Zohar's interpretation of an incomplete tzaddik is somebody who's complete in this lifetime. That's why they're tzaddik. But they're incomplete because they have a soul that wasn't fixed 100%. It was by and large a good soul. It wasn't like a nasty soul that had been full of averos, full of sins, but it wasn't metukan, it wasn't completely fixed, and therefore it's tzaddik she'ein gomer. What is that like? It's like a person who builds a building, an estate that's beautiful to look at, but he looks at the foundation. This is a problem we all have, even if it's not on a simple level of... This is a big problem we have. You know, we build in life buildings with our life, right? We make all of the things that he described before. We make the walls, we make the gardens, we make the wells, right? We build. It means we do Torah and mitzvahs. So it means with our Torah and mitzvahs, we're fixing the world, we're fixing other people's souls, we're fixing our own soul, etc. The only thing is, what if you lived on a swamp?
You know what swamp?
A swamp. And you built foundations that were maybe good in one area, but not good enough in another area. So even though the building looks beautiful, everything works fine, but all of a sudden, it's shaking, it's sliding. So this is the issue we have. You can be perfect. You can have a perfect structure of what you've built, but the question is, what's your foundation? And we all have a foundation, meaning we all have a root soul, of where the root of the soul means what's buried. Freud talked about the unconscious, but the Zohar talks about the soul before we took possession of it, so to speak, where it was before. Now that part is submerged. It's the foundation beneath the surface. We could have built a magnificent building, but our root, meaning the soul that we have from before, may be imperfect. What are you going to have to do ultimately? You may have to take down the whole structure to fix the yesod, or maybe not take it down literally. You may have to get some serious workers in and redo the foundation. But what's interesting about foundation is connected to Pinchas, because for some reason Yesod, what is Yesod? The attribute of Yesod, of the foundation, that's the connectivity. Because that's what roots us and what connects us. That's also the sexual part of the person is called Yesod. That's also connected to the foundation. So let's see what the Zohar says here. So it's Levarnash Shabbat Bidin Shapir Yon the Master, right? This person builds a magnificent structure, it's beautiful, Stakel Yisoda, but then the person looks at their foundation of this building. But they see that it's sunk in and crooked in all directions. So then, even though it looks like it's a perfect building, but it's not. Because the foundation. So that word is throwing me off today. Until the person takes down the whole building, takes out the foundation, rebuilds it, what's the word when you put in a new foundation, and rebuilds it. The top will be the same because it was a perfect building. It was just the foundation was bad. It turns out, in other words, on the building level, it's beautiful, perfect. But Yisoda Bishva Akim, but on the level of Yisod, of foundation, there it's all crooked, there it's all bad. Therefore, it's not a complete act. It's not a perfect. It's not a binyan shalom. It's not a permanent. It's not really permanent. It's not really whole. So it's the same thing. We got to work on a Yisod. We got to work on our foundation. So it's the same thing. That's why when this person, like Rav Sheshes, is going to leave this world, why doesn't he go into his and then after Tchias HaMesim will go reincarnated? What does that soul go back into? It goes back into the original body. Anyway, why? Yeah, because the whole time. That's also the power of uncertainty. What do you do when you have that type of soul? The whole time you're questioning yourself, you're doubting yourself. You're saying, I don't know if this soul is going to really be my soul. I don't know if I deserve it. So because you question it, you don't have the relationship you need for it to come and transform you for Tchias HaMesim. That's what the Zohar says.
There's a book in Israel called Mapecha, Revolution.
Yeah.
It was translated into English too, but they showed some kind of pseudoscience.
Yeah.
That people who were great people throughout the centuries, who were they say are the reincarnated version, and they look very similar from one body to the other. It could be hundreds of years apart, but they have a striking similarity from one body to the other.
It's interesting because in a lot of Kabbalah work, it's like if the name is the same, that often means they're going to come into the same. Or if they have the same temptation, it means that's likely they were.
Similarity.
Yeah.
Whatever body you choose is probably a variation of the same thing.
Yeah.
I know two of my past lifetimes where I did look very similar, but I know one when I look completely different, and I hope that's not the one. Now you've got me beautiful.
Now you worry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Another reason to go see a psychoanalyst.
I'm worried. My dad doesn't.
You should exercise, not because of how you'll look in the next lifetime, but just, it'll make you happier in this lifetime.
What if you don't make it very far? Say you die when you're a year or 2 years old in the first lifetime. Would you go back to that body? You'd be...
It's beyond the scope of this conversation. I actually didn't prepare to answer all the questions of.
Especially the older days.
That's a seminar. That's a special seminar.
Special seminar.
Begin Kaf, because of that, in this circumstance of this soul that was reincarnated. So tzaddik she'en gamer, that person is called an incomplete tzaddik in the second lifetime. Menivcha. And it's possible that they'll get pushed away. In other words, maybe the soul won't come back for the revival, or the Tchias HaMesim of the dead, into the second body. So the question is, what will happen? Will that body never come back? We believe that all the people that were alive will come back. And the answer is that body will also come back with just a nitzis, just a little spark from the soul, but it won't have the full soul. Valda, the primary soul it'll go back to the first body. Valda, bivala rasha tzaddik mimena. That's why the sages say in the Gemara Brachas that sometimes a tzaddik can kind of swallow up that a complete tzaddik, there's a difference between a complete tzaddik and an incomplete tzaddik. And that's the difference, that the complete tzaddik doesn't have to worry about this, but the incomplete tzaddik has to worry about whether his soul is going to stay in his body, or if it will go back to the earlier body and just one spark of it will go into his body at Tchias HaMesim. Now let's get back to Pinchas. Okay, we talked about reincarnation because we talked about Pinchas, who was reincarnated but not of an Aviyah. So we talked about it in general. Now let's talk a little bit about this idea of zealousness. And let's ask a very simple question. The Torah says that Hineni, behold, I'm going to give Pinchas the covenant of peace. Bris Kuna Solam. I'm going to make him a Kohen forever, for him and for his family. Let me ask you something. You know, it's like the story where the guy comes to the rabbi and says, "Rabbi, I want you to make me a Kohen." So he says, "I'm afraid I can't." He says, "But Rabbi, I'm going to give you $100,000." He said, "Okay, you're a Kohen." I say, "But tell me, why do you want to be a Kohen so badly?" He says, "Because my father was a Kohen and my grandfather was a Kohen." So, but it's not a joke. Here's Pinchas. His father was a Kohen, his grandfather was a Kohen. He had to perform a heroic act to be considered a Kohen. Doesn't make any sense. So Rashi answers this question, and it brings out the Gemara.
He killed somebody.
That's the Zohar's answer. But Rashi quotes the Gemara and says that it wasn't yet a fact that a person becomes a Kohen just because their father was Kohen, unless they're born into it. Pinchas was already alive when Elazar was made a Kohen, and only the subsequent children would be born out. Okay, it's like a convoluted answer. But the Zohar's another answer. The Zohar's answer is that when you kill somebody, you lose your right to be a Kohen. You can't be a Kohen and be a murderer. The only thing is because a Kohen is a Isha Chesed, a Kohen is a person of kindness. Can you guys quiet down?